Let's talk a little bit about those Cleveland Guardians who had a very successful series against the Tigers this weekend. They did lose last night against the Dodgers. We'll get into that after a quick word from Buckeye State Credit Union. If you never heard of Buckeye State Credit Union, let me introduce you to your new favorite financial partner. Buckeye State Credit Union is a local institution offering everything from checking accounts to home equity lines of credit and auto loans with some of the lowest rates in Northeast Ohio. Their Cleveland branch is in Shaker Heights, which is one of 5 different locations across the state, making it easy to find one near you. Can't get to a branch? No problem. They make banking simple with digital banking. What sets Buckeye State Credit Union apart? They make banking personal and convenient at Buckeye. Their focus is you. Their core values: connect, simplify, and adapt guide everything they do. They bring people together, cut through the clutter, and are innovative. To learn more, visit buckeyecu.org. Buckeye State Credit Union, your money simplified. Before we dive into the upcoming Guardians games and recapping what happened over the weekend, a quick reminder that Friday's Guardians-Angels game is right here on WKYC. On Channel 3, it's one of 10 games throughout the season that will be broadcast on WKYC. We'll have some preview coverage on Friday with some Guardians guests, and you can check out all the WKYC coverage beginning at 7 p.m. on Channel 3 before the Guardians-Angels game.
You guys ever seen the baseball movie Angels in the Outfield?
Of course.
Great movie.
I thought that was terrible.
Wasn't
Danny Glover the manager of the Angels in that movie?
Yes.
Or was that Rookie of the Year?
No, that was...
Was Danny Glover Rookie of the Year?
No, Rookie of the Year. The manager is black in that movie,
That
but he's
wasn't
not
Danny
Danny Glover.
Glover.
Hey, Danny Glover.
Tyvus thinks all black people look alike.
No.
You sure that wasn't Danny Glover?
No, it was not Danny Glover.
Hold on.
Tyvus, you were correct about this. Danny Glover was the black dude Hollywood tapped on the shoulder and said, yes, we're going to give you roles.
Was Danny Glover the manager at Angels in the Outfield, Mike? He was not big, little bit. I don't know that actor's name from Rookie of the Year.
And Danny,
His assistant, the pitching coach, was Daniel Stern from.
Yeah, Danny Glover. You're correct.
It was Danny Glover from Angels in the Outfield.
Correct.
Who was the manager in that movie, Rookie of the Year with the Cubs movie? That guy, I don't think I'd ever seen him in anything before.
hey,
I
man,
think that was Danny Glover.
No,
hey, man, but that was Danny Glover in The Color Purple.
Definitely.
and in what do you call it?
The Die Hard trilogy.
Die Hard. No, not Die Hard. The ones with Mel Gibson, not Die Hard.
The Mel Gibson.
Was it Daniel Stern?
No, Daniel Stern's the pitching coach.
What is his name with Mel Gibson? Not Die Hard. I know what you're talking about.
Oh my God,
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was he and Mel Gibson were partners.
Yeah, it was a cop movie.
I know. I can't. And
Why can't
I'm
I
drawing
think
the blank.
there were like 4
I
of them.
know exactly what
Remember,
you're talking
Chris
about.
Rock was in like the 3rd or 4th one. He played Danny Glover's soon-to-be son-in-law.
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal
No,
Weapon.
and he
Lethal
gets seen
Weapon.
with the Die Hard. Lethal
Lethal
Weapon.
Weapon. Yeah. Dang, I'm salty.
Lethal Weapon. How do we know? Joe Pesci was in number 3 or 4 or whatever.
We're supposed to be the elite
that was
conglomerate
bad.
of
You gotta
trivia
know that.
analysts of all time. We're supposed to know everything.
So Guards, Tigers. We'll talk
Yeah.
about the Dodgers in a sec. But
Yeah.
3 out of 4, they won the first 3. Scooble was incredible on Sunday against
great series.
less than top lineup from Cleveland. They took some of their guys out, and Scooble
Yeah.
obviously mowed him down.
I love that I keep people peering. I've heard a few people say, "Oh, it was a bad lineup." Their whole lineup sucks. What do you mean bad lineup?
I was gonna say that's kind of funny because
They have 2 good hitters. I mean, that's it.
and they both had a chance. But Bull,
Yeah.
we came into this series knowing
Yeah.
it could go one of 2 ways to win the first 3.
Yeah.
How big was that for this Cleveland team that
Oh, my God.
has
Well,
needed a
first of
statement?
all, people were embarrassing themselves before that series. The season's over. They're out of it. They're going to – there's only 2 teams in the American League more than a half a game better than the Guardians right now. For all the complaints, the lineup's been terrible. The starting pitching's been up and down. Clase sucking early in the year. For all the complaints, the Guardians are tied for the 4th best record in the American League and only a half game back of Seattle for the 3rd best. Only the Tigers and Yankees have significantly better records, and the Guardians just kicked the crap out of the Tigers 3 out of 4 games. Of course, they lost the last one with Scooble. Tanner Bybee was great in that first game on Thursday, and Gavin Williams pitched great in that series. Ciccone pitched really well in that series, and he's a talented guy who maybe he's kind of put it all together. Ortiz got off to a bad start, and then he settled down after that. So they played great in that series. What are you going to do? When Scooble's that on, you're going to lose. and he was on Sunday. But to win 3 out of 4 in Detroit,
I knew everybody.
That was
knew,
impressive.
Everybody knew they was losing that game. When you see Scuba was on the mound, I was like, it's done.
you knew he was ending that losing streak.
Well, here's the reason why, man. There's a lot of people that, the Guardians do this every year. They won't die in May and June. They're not going to die.
Never.
And so,
almost never.
And so if they won't die in May and June, people will start to they already fast forward July and August because they want to get to September. Yeah. And they already extrapolated, okay, who you going to get in the first? You going to play the Rays? You going to play the Tigers? You going to play Minnesota, Kansas City? Who you going to play the first round? But when you get to that second round, they're looking at it as like, okay, yes, we peaked. This is it.
This is it.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Here's why we shouldn't have that attitude. Because
he ain't wrong, though.
Who are you scared of in the American League? I get it. I get they lost to the Yankees last year. I get that the Yankees are playing really well.
Crazy?
Their roster is not that great. I'm telling you.
You predicted that they wouldn't even make the postseason.
I know, and right now I look really bad on that. But it's a long season.
The reason is
they're going to make the postseason.
The reason is the Yankees literally. We've seen this before.
Yeah.
The Yankees can literally be getting outplayed the entire game.
Yeah.
You get 5-6 strong innings. You get 3 runs. You got a bunch of guys on base. You're doing your thing, and then all of a sudden in the 7th inning they get a walk, an error, and a 3-run home run. And the game is tied. Right. That'd be killing your soul.
Well, we'll see. Listen, Stanton was great against them last year. He's been hurt the whole season. We don't know when he's going to play. Soto killed the Guardians. He's not on the Yankees anymore. They still have Judge, but he's struggled in the playoffs. Cody Bellinger and Paul Goldschmidt have been pretty good. I don't trust those guys like I did Juan Soto.
I didn't even the rest of their
Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
When they get him.
How you going to say that Cody Bellinger was the ex-Cub?
I know, and he wasn't that good. He's up and down.
Wow.
He was having a terrible season. The last 3 weeks he's gotten hot, and now he's doing better. He's a hot and cold player. He's an injury-prone player.
I didn't even know I had Goldschmidt like that, bro.
Yeah, and Goldschmidt's doing nice, but
he's been very good.
The Yankees are getting much better starting pitching than I thought they would. That's been the difference for them. All their starters have really pitched well. I did not expect that, especially when Garrett Cole got hurt. But, okay, there's nobody else they can't beat in the American League. I get it, and I think they can beat the Yankees. It's easy to say they can't because when it comes to the Guardians and the Yankees, it's just like with the Cavs. Show it to me because we keep losing to them. So I get it. Yeah. But the Guardians I think will go to the playoffs, and we'll see. Now, remember, Shane Bieber's making his first minor league start, I think, today.
David Fry's in AAA.
David Fry is going to be back in a few weeks. They're finally going to call up some of these young guys. I think they'll call up Kafis this week probably. Santana might even go on the injured list. We'll see how banged up he is. But their rotation, DeLauder hit his first home run of the year. After coming back from the injured list. The rotation's improving. The Ben Lively injury is an unfortunate thing because he's been really good for them.
Yeah, I was about to say we discount Lively.
But if Bieber is Bieber, things could get really nasty with their rotation.
Today?
In the minors.
For which one?
Arizona Fall League. Not Arizona Fall League. The low minors, like the 18-year-olds.
Only way I see them being straight up contenders is 2 things. One, Gavin Williams got to be at the level of Tanner by the end of the year.
Well, he got to be what?
He got to be at the level of Tanner by.
Here's why, and I know a lot of people are frustrated with Gavin Williams because he was fantastic against the Tigers and then he stunk yesterday against the Dodgers. But let me say this, and yes, he's been inconsistent, no doubt.
Leads the league in walks.
Oh yes, it's a big problem. He nibbles too much. He doesn't trust himself. That's why he's always tinkering. We were talking about this yesterday. He tried a sweeper. He was trying to sinker. He threw a couple of sinkers in this game. He's tinkering too much because he doesn't believe in himself enough. And that's a problem. And that's something they're going to have to work through. But I think when Shane Bieber comes back, he takes the pressure off everybody else. Because you have the proven veteran, the guy who's done it in the playoffs, and it makes everybody kind of relax a little bit and know that the pressure's not on them. And if Gavin Williams is the 3rd or 4th starter, you'll be fine there. Again, Slade Ciccone's got to do it a lot more, but Ortiz has been solid. Bibby's coming off his best start of the year. I think the Guardians are a legitimate threat. I hate their lineup just as much as everybody else. Their lineup sucks.
That's
I don't try.
Bull. That's the only thing we.
You got three guys in the lineup that I think are pretty good.
Let me ask Bull this: do you believe the Guardians are a threat because there's not enough threats elsewhere around baseball, or is it because you actually believe in what Cleveland has?
I think they're better.
What's the mix of it?
I think they're a pretty good team that can be a very good team come postseason if things break right for them and they stay healthy. And I just don't think, Detroit's 5 games. As great as Detroit's been, they're only 5 games up. That's not a lot. We got a long way to go. We're at the 1/3 point of the season. You got 106 games left, whatever it is.
But doesn't it alarm you that also Minnesota and Kansas City are basically within the same length as you?
It doesn't alarm me because I think Kansas City's good. Minnesota's overachieved. I think they'll fall off eventually to some degree. Kansas City's dealing with some injuries too. Detroit is overplayed. Detroit has played way better than expected, and they're only 5 games up. Way better than expected. And the Guardians have had a lot of players have disappointing starts. I just think when it's all said and done, if healthy, and that's you can say that about every team, the Guardians, in my opinion, will have a chance to have the best pitching staff, rotation and bullpen included. The whole pitching staff from 1 to 11, 1 to 12. I think if Bieber is healthy and pitching like Bieber, and Clase is healthy and pitching like Clase, and for the most part he has in the last few weeks, although I'm a little concerned about his velocity being down. But if those two are right, I think the Guardians' pitching staff can be special in the playoffs. And listen, the lineup's not going to be great. You're going to have to overcome it.
I would say they have the worst lineup in the playoffs. They're going to have the worst lineup.
They don't have the worst lineup in baseball, but as of now, they would have the worst lineup in the playoffs. I'm not that whole, I want to see C.J. Kafis. I've been talking about him for 2 weeks. He's still got over a 950 OPS in Columbus. I want to see DeLauder soon. If I'm the Guardians, listen to me. Guardians, let's have DeLauder play a little center field in the minors. I want to see him play center field. He's done it a little bit. Lane Thomas is struggling. Nolan Jones can't hit. All right, now I've been a big fan of Nolan Jones for a long time, but he is not getting it done. And I got to give somebody else a chance. I'd call up Kafis today and start playing him in the right field.
Wait a minute. Wait. Before you go,
wow.
I got to take this moment. I can't let this pass.
Go.
McNuggets asked us probably like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Who do we have confidence that will turn it around?
Yeah.
I said Bo Naylor.
Yeah.
You said Nolan Jones.
And we were both wrong.
I'm more right than you.
Bo Naylor stinks. He can't hit a lick.
Bo Naylor to hit some home runs since that conversation.
Bo Naylor is not in every.
I'm more right.
Bo Naylor
situation.
All right, I'll give you that. He's been a little better. He's been better than Jones.
All the stats about Nolan Jones says.
I mean, that's what you're excited about.
So by the way, since that conversation,
yeah,
it was 10 days ago. So do you want the last 7-day splits or the last 15-day splits?
Give 15, whatever you want.
7.
So 7.
Give 7.
Nolan Jones in the last 7 days is hitting 154 with a 354 OPS.
Hideous.
Bo Naylor in the last 7 days is hitting 200 with a 769 OPS.
Yes!
I mean, I think that's amazing, but it's certainly better.
If you go to the last 15 days, so this is just before we had that conversation, Nolan Jones is hitting 250 with a 515 OPS.
Horrible.
And Bo Naylor's hitting 188 with a 789 OPS.
Yeah, because he's hit a few home runs. That's going to boost up your OPS.
He has 2 homers in the last 2 weeks.
Man.
But he's hit 7 home runs. Great for him.
Under one. These guys,
baseball expert.
They can't hit. You got Jose and Quan. Manzardo's been all right. Everybody else stinks.
Arias is falling off a cliff.
I told you that was coming. I told you the Schneemann was going off a cliff. He has.
But how is it? But my thing is, how do we even get to a point where we even counting Gabriel Arias as a mountain? To fall off a cliff, you got to be high like this. He's never been high.
The Guardians have just not. As great a job as they do developing pitchers, which they do every year, they get new pitchers. They have not been able to develop these hitters.
At all.
I mean, Stephen Kwan's the only guy.
Didn't the Rays have a season where they switched their hitting coach and then they start hitting a bunch of home runs?
Yes.
It was like 2 years ago.
I don't remember the
3
strategic
years
pitching
ago.
coach. But they did have a couple of years ago, they hit 1 million home runs. Yes.
Bull. Let's be honest. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. You go down the list. Look at the names that you got. These are platoon players. These are on good teams. Split
I hear ya.
Rocchio, the Arias, the Schneemans, the Big Christmases, Lane Thomas. Listen, Nolan Jones. These guys. Listen, man. These
Yes.
are if
If
they
you
play
look
on
at-
other teams, they spotting.
If you look at the good lineups in baseball, the only starters are Ramirez and Kwan. That's it. Manzardo, maybe is a starter on a good team.
He's a starter for sure if he's not playing first base.
Huh?
But if he's not playing first base, his numbers are definitely starter numbers. But compared to other first basemen,
Yeah, I mean,
Not
his
as
numbers are
much.
okay.
Santana.
Nobody else is a starter for not a good lineup.
Bo Naylor, like it's just not. They got a couple guys, you know. So they overachieve. They are, but I
They
give it
have to
them.
win with pitching, and they need to. And again, if you don't believe it, and I'm not convinced that Kafis or DeLauder or any of these guys are going to pan out because so far every prospect has not panned out. But you have to give somebody else a chance right now.
Yeah.
John Kenzie, Nolan Jones, Lane Thomas, these guys have done zero. I understand they want to give Lane Thomas a little more time because he was hurt. He just came back. I get it. And he at least has somewhat of a track record in the majors. But, I mean, right field has been a black hole. You got to give somebody a chance who's been hit.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, we got 3 teams in town. Guardians, they be losing in the second round, but they be overachieving a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They don't really got nobody, but they be somebody May, June.
Don't say they ain't got no.
They ain't really got, but listen, when they get to the postseason, it's obvious. You look at their lineups, they be like, ooh, we got to have some nice stuff. We have some good bounces go our way. And they lose in the second round, right?
What's the pitcher we traded for last year at the deadline? Older guy.
Matt Boyd.
No, he was here.
He was here.
Alex Cobb, he's gone.
Yeah.
They got.
He's with the Tigers, isn't he?
He's been hurt the whole year.
He with the Tigers?
Yeah, he hasn't pitched, though.
So you got one team in the Guardians that
Yeah.
lose in the second round, but then you got the Cavs who lose in the second round.
Yeah.
Which team do you feel best about losing in the second round?
What you mean? Like
You got a team of the Cavs.
The Cavs, the Guardians.
When the
were not-
Guardians lose in the second round, I don't feel that.
I don't feel that.
No,
Yeah.
because the Guardian. First of all, baseball's
doing
more
everything.
random.
Yeah, they doing everything.
They doing everything.
They already maxed
They
themselves out.
maxing it out. Like they maxing it, and you're like, okay, all right.
You're
bro.
not going to blame the players like you do with the Cavs.
When I look at the Cavs,
Cavs were favored.
yeah.
The
When
Guardians were an underdog
When
against the
I look at
Yankees.
the Cavs, I can't watch NBA basketball. I turned it off. I can't watch no more basketball this
Yeah.
offseason.
That's true. That's really true.
I'll be mad. I'll be too upset. So, but with the Guardians, they get timely hitting. They get the most out of their bodies. So I can't.
Speaking of which, we haven't hit yet on the third team in Cleveland, the Cavaliers.
And
Let's
we
get
are
to them
going
now.
to do so. Just a quick reminder, once again, Friday, WKYC, Guardians, Angels. All your coverage begins at 7 p.m., one of 10 games that will be on WKYC this year. So make sure you guys tune in Friday night, 7 p.m., for an Angels-Guardians primetime matchup.